Hey, we're here at Gunner's Firearms with Maggie. And Maggie, we were actually talking about these new forms. We did a different video, but something that you brought up, I just want to talk about this. Because we have the old forms, we have the new forms, and the old forms, they're 6 pages. And the new forms, they're 8 pages, but I noticed on the very back, the Paperwork Reduction Act. And to add this page for the paperwork, there's nothing on there. Like, it's just literally they added a page so they could tell you about the Paperwork Reduction Act. And I just love this. I think it's awesome.
So this is
so foolish. It spells federal government
it's
all over it.
It's not just the one page to tell you about the Paperwork Reduction Act notice of 1995, but this was actually right here featured on the back of the previous. It's actually been featured on all of the forms.
Yeah, but they put it tiny at the bottom. They gave it a whole page on this one.
They did. They gave the Paperwork Reduction Act notice its very own page. That's mostly blank. This is the scratch paper. This is where you can show your work when you have to do long division to see if you have enough money to purchase the firearm in your available funds. Yes, this is the extra workbook sheets for
the Paperwork Reduction Act.
Can I tell you a funny story about the Paperwork Reduction Act notice?
Of course, because this is pretty funny already.
So, more documents than just this have that Paperwork Reduction Act notice attached to them. NFA items. The form to transfer an NFA item also has that. And at the first store I worked for, the first time they went through and did an NFA transfer for someone, they printed out all the pages of the document in PDF format. They printed them out single-sided. They had everything done flawlessly, except that they printed it out on a front, or just the fronts only, and they didn't use the back side of the sheet. Well, they mailed it in, and it turned around and came right back and said, due to the Paperwork Reduction Act notice of 1995, all of the forms must be double-sided anymore. You can't have single-sided forms.
Oh.
So they sent back
Weird.
a perfect form because it was single-sided and took up too much space. So let's waste some more trees. That was the only issue on that document when it came back, was like, yeah, everything's great. We're just sending it back. You have to redo it because it's on one side only.
Due to the Paper Reduction Act, we need you to use more paper.
So that was my first experience with the Paperwork Reduction Act notice, and it just left me scratching my head and going, is this a real thing?
Is this real?
Okay, but according to this new ATF Form 4473, yes, it gets its own page now in nice big print at the bottom, all the way across, instead of relegated to a tiny bottom corner. Yeah, so now you too can read about and enjoy the Paperwork Reduction Act notice of 1995.
Well, I think the thing that I love about this, here's what I love about it, and I'm not sure if I can even put this into words, is that it's so ridiculous. It's almost like this thing that's super hypocritical. It's totally in your faces, it's almost as if I'm screaming at somebody to stop screaming. Or if I'm throwing rocks at somebody while I tell them to stop throwing rocks. It just doesn't make any sense. That's what I love about it. Well, the hypocrisy of the new background check. Well, Maggie, gosh, thank you so much. It's fun to see, especially when it's so blatant. I just love that. But we always appreciate you, and we'll catch you next time.
All right. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.